But don't fuck up. So you better not fuck up. At home and welcome to the Hangout, a show that is going to give you guys everything that has to do with entertainment and also educating you guys at home. And elam igama, it is Uzinhle Ngqeza nendemindeta namhlanje. I have my
Okay.
I'm good, and you?
I can't complain, man. If you're watching the show for the first time, welcome to it, man. The name of the show, it's the Hangout. We're going to be in your TV for the next hour from 3:30 until 4:30. But you know what to do, man, to make you warm. Because guys, but to keep you warm, guys, interact with us on the social media platform. If ever you put the happy birthday, because the mini hit us up on social media. And also that.
So on the show today, we have a lovely question for our viewers at home because schools are opening and also are the people out there ready and also are they prepared, and also what are the challenges or rather let's say expectations that they're trying to implement for this new term for them. But they can simply communicate with us on all our social media platforms. It is at Mpumakapa TV, and also our WhatsApp line, it is at 083 6900530. And just like that, we can give you a shout out right here on the Hangout. But let us get on with the show, the first guest. Yeah.
But welcome back to it, man. Let's get going. Buddha Krimba on the show. He's the first guest for the show. Yeah, na uzozazisa ba ngubani because uthi Krimba aligama lakhe ligama le brand yakhe. Khuluma kunjani?
Black Power,
Mandla.
Yabulela uba lapha ngibuyisele nakubahlali beMpumakapa TV ya kwi Hangout. Otherwise negama lami ngulula makafunde ngumsukweni kwaKabhana ndilenawo uthi bashe lona umama ke ngumamzangwa ngokhwalo nguncuthu ndazalwa nakoTshonyane koDikiza nasemaceheni bekontswentswe so ndi artist ke yalapha eBhayi yabona spoken word artist, also busy ke with branding, clothing yabo and other stuff yabo. So I've been around ke art scene yalapha eBhayi since I don't know for some time.
It's been long.
Sandy legend. Yeah.
So Mnaputi, I just want to know, when it comes to you entering this space, they like to call it a creative economy.
Sure.
To you, what goes into mind? Because it's Ninsindo Zenzayo, and also how do you tap into each platform and also category as Ukrimba Krumba?
Yeah, you see, as an artist, first of all, I approach things with like, you must have a product that you want to go and sell. When you have a product, then it's easy to penetrate spaces. As a spoken word artist, you look for platforms where you want to perform. You can have the message, you want to know where you're going to share the message, who you're going to share it with, how you're going to share it with. Because the most important thing is when people receive you, how is that going to turn out? Because in the end, when it gets value, you can put a price on it. And then you can say, you can get paid or whatever. So I started like that. Let me go out there and take myself to the people. Let me take my brand. Let me take it to the people so that they can see it. If they like it, then I can take it from there.
I want to state something when it gets very value, then you can put a price on it. Like when you start a brand, people they don't know about it. And then you're the only person who knows the value and then how do you put a price pan so like okay, no. And then how do you do that as creative?
That's what I was trying to say, is that you see these colors, these are symbol colors, these are African colors. It's red, it's yellow, it's green, they have a meaning, obviously. You see? Now, I put them together like that as a pattern for myself. Now, when I started, I was the only one wearing these t-shirts. But everywhere I go, when I perform, people are like, yo, Brad, that was nice. Where can we get your stuff? What else do you have? I'm like, no, I also sell t-shirts and stuff. Then people started putting these colors and me and my craft together, and then they it became that thing of, okay, when you see these colors, you see Krimba Kumba, then you know, we are talking art. Yeah, well, so now, years later on, now I have people who say, hey, man, I want this T-shirt, the exact one you have. And it went like that. Today, this T-shirt is all over the country, and I think even beyond the country. Yeah, because there were people who were here and who left the country with the merchandise. Yeah, so to answer your question, it's like it starts with you. That's why people are always saying out there, if you have a brand, wear your brand all the time, every time. Even when you're just chilling at home, you know that T-shirt you clean the yard with, let it be your brand. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Krimba Kumba.
Krimba Kumba.
Yes, love the name, man.
Yeah, and also for him now, what I want to know is when it comes to creating, because brand Yako has a stamp, which is the 3 colors that you mentioned. Do you ever some sort of wanting to explore and also make a brand Yako or a signature Yako a little bit different by adding as new elements to it?
No, actually, about this thing, I consider it like as a pattern. You see, now when you have a pattern, it remains as it is. But now what I put on it can change. For example, if you are a creative, I work a lot with artists. You have your own brand that we can put on the pattern because the pattern already represents me. You see, that's why I have Biko, I have Matikizela, I have people like Zimsto Rufine. I've worked with her. Put her brand there. Yeah, I have a lot of people, for example, Tombolo is a comedian, but because he's in a creative space, yeah, so I collaborate with him, my brand, which is these colors, plus his brand. For example, even this sweater, I've collaborated with Ezwe, yeah, Abongile Storman. It's his this print. Yeah, so I say, look, my brother, sew this thing for me, and I'll put to Black Power, and I put these colors somewhere there. So now it's me and him. We did, I think, 4 or 5 of these sweaters for a festival. All of them are sold.
Shout out to you, man. I also see that you more about Black Power because I also see your shoes. It's a Bambanani. Shout out to you supporting the black ones. I want to ask you a question, man. You mentioned something about performing, and I feel like we're more focused about your brand side. Do you want to tell us about something? Are you also an artist? Do you do music or whatever?
Yeah, I do a lot of performing, man, when it comes to poetry and art. I've performed in a lot of platforms, by festivals, even the recent one, Mandela Bay Arts Festival, in Mamela. I performed around the country, kwezinye festival, Cape Town, Joburg, yabona, even Alwal North. I'm a traveler, I travel a lot, yabo. So performing wise, I also do my own shows in Zwede. I do events almost every 2 months or so. I do my own shows, yabo, where I also sell my brand, yabo, because doing my own show allows me to also have a space where I can sell my work. Yabo. Yes, sir.
And also, for you, when you're saying that you performed in a couple of stages, what did it mean to you, and also how did it feel like?
Yeah, it feels good, because in the beginning, you perform for free. You go all places and you find out you don't get paid. But now, forward a few years later, you can get paid from like 7,000. You grow, you get paid like 8,000. For a set that you normally perform for free. But now you can get paid more money, you see. So the money grows and without having to, like, as if I'm bragging, when you get paid, perform for platforms like a Mamela Festival, you get school that the money now is different. It makes you realize, hey, actually, I'm an artist, you see. I can live off the way, given that the opportunities were as frequent. However, they are few, but they are there.
Thank you very much, man. That's Krimba Kumba. Guys, do you know almost we have a question for a day, man. Schools are opening on, so are you ready for this term? If you're not, I guess yes, but it's the second half of the year, man. We hopefully will ready, man. But Mbukele, don't change the channel because we're going to come back after this.
And welcome back from an ad break. And right now what's happening is that we are sitting with our reviews. She is someone who is a business person, radio personality, and as well as a filmmaker. And I am talking about Ulunathi Fudu. So let us welcome her on the Hangout. Welcome, Ulunathi. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I am good. So for people at home, Tlambi, I botched a bit of that intro. So can you please tell our viewers at home who is Ulunathi and what are you doing?
Where do I start? So Ulunathi Fudu is a filmmaker, a broadcaster. She owns her own business, Thrift Boutique. And I'm also an educator. I do teaching as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also, I want us to focus more onto the thrifting part.
Okay.
How do you go about it? Because it seems like it's very difficult for one to be able to find such unique items to have. So why did you decide to venture into that space?
So it started with a bit of vanity, actually. In varsity, I really disliked the fact that I was wearing the same thing as everybody else, considering buying commercial, right? So I started sourcing different clothes. So I would go to little thrift stores, those bargain stores, charity shops, and that's where it started. And then people would ask, why, like, where did you get that from? And that's where the business started in university around 2012. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, and also when it comes to finding items for your business, is it, do you have a sort of element that you go about, or you just collect? Because I can say that the items that you have are collectibles. There are some, there's things that have value in them.
Right.
So to you, do you go about as to finding a certain things, or you just collect anything that has to do with vintage and clothing?
So it differs, right? Depending on the season, depending on what's going on at the time. You try not to go with the trends because you want to be different. You know, you want to try and find those unique pieces. So for example, this I bought for about 30 Rand.
Yeah, I can do now.
You know, like basically my
yes.
whole outfit is thrifted. I'm wearing like 150 Rand right now in terms of my whole outfit. But I try to find really good bargains, and at the same time trying to find unique pieces for people and things that will last a long time. So that's the main aim, and I try to go on pieces that are unique, vintage, and sort of authentic as well.
And also, have you ever heard a customer is out, you know what, Lonati, I am looking for this particular item. Please try and travel around the world and find this for me.
Wow. Yeah, it gets really tricky because I always tell clients that it's one for one, right? You want to be different. So if you see something on my page, for instance, chances are I'm not going to get that item again. So at the end of the day, you want to be unique. You want to be the only one wearing it. So why would you want to be looking for something specific, right? So I always try to explain that to them, but I always try and give alternatives to what they're looking for and style them in that way.
And also, do you find it difficult to be someone who's exclusive, who's always wearing indoor hair?
Absolutely. All the time. I mean, you know, when I buy something, I don't necessarily say, oh, it's winter, I need to buy jackets or buy this, that, or the other, right? I buy what I like at that particular time, and I'll figure it out along the way. So for me, I try not to restrict myself, and that's what I tell clients as well. Don't restrict yourself. If you see something you like, just know that you're probably not going to get it again, right? So that's what I try to, you know, the message that I try to give out to people. And I try to look my best as much as I can with the thrifted goods,
And also, have you ever had that time where a client city
yes,
do you
it happened just last night, actually. There are items I haven't even, you know, advertised yet. And someone asked me, do you have jerseys? Do you have, you know, sweaters and those kind of things? Video called, and I showed them what I have. And they literally bought things before I could even advertise them. And then they looked at the sweater that I was wearing, and I was like, well, if you're willing to pay for it, I'm willing to give it up, because I'm not that attached to my clothes, because I'll replace it with something else. So yes, it does happen where I'll be at a market and someone wants what I'm wearing. And sometimes I'm like, okay, fine, we can talk about it and see what happens.
Yeah. And also, when it comes to thrifting and collecting items that are vintage, is it a new thing? Do you see a market for it, especially in the Eastern Cape?
You know what? At the beginning, when I started, it wasn't as saturated as it is now. And I think people need to also realize that there's a bigger conversation behind thrifting besides just looking good and getting that unique piece. It's about slow fashion, it's about the environment, climate change, and there's a much bigger conversation around it. So how do I, as an individual, contribute to the fact that climate change is actually happening, and how do I play my part in making sure that I'm part of the solution as well. So we all know about fast fashion and how it's actually affecting the environment. So that's where thrifting started for me, and it's something my mother taught me. My sister and I were doing it from when we were young. And basically, it's educating people about the environment, getting them to understand what slow fashion is, upcycling, and just, recycling clothes.
And also, mentioned earlier on, Uba, you're also a radio personality.
Yes.
Let's go into that because you are basically creating a world that we are not part of, but it becomes part of our imagination. Let's talk about that. Ungena njani kwa radio? How do you see that I have the voice for this?
You know what? I fell into it. It wasn't a goal per se, but my dad had been in radio for a very long time, for about 15 years. And then he tried to introduce me into it. I started as a newsreader and then took a break, went into education, where I left for China for 4 years, came back recently and started again. I decided to do it. And from there, that's where the filmmaking came in as well. I just fell into that. And I realized I actually could do this. And I didn't realize that I had the creative side in that aspect. So for me, I want to utilize that space to help other business owners. So the show I've been doing is about small businesses and helping them advertise themselves, giving them a platform to talk about their businesses. And how do I, as a small business owner, help others, grow their businesses as well? And how do we collaborate as a unit as well, since we're all trying to, do our best in this economy as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Leonati, for joining us on the Hangout.
You.
Unfortunately, right now, we have to go and pay our bills. And then when we're coming back, we are still going to be hanging out right here on Pumakapa TV. So you guys at home, please make sure that you don't go anywhere, because the Hangout is still going to be here. Welcome back from an ad break. Intwana Zako's Wheeler on the screens. Randos, what's happening on the show? Or rather, what's happening right now?
What's happening now? But anyway, guys, I saw your comments. And she's looking forward to go back to school, class, second semester.
Yeah.
Second term. Yeah. It's not a second semester, man.
It's a second term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even a second term, it's a third term.
Third term.
Yeah, so there's also that.
Oh, it doesn't
and guys, I hope you guys are warm because we're banned apparently. But it's not about us, man. We have a guest here. Sister Munjan. Welcome to it, man.
Thank you so much. Igama ngisinolwazi April ngumamkhomazi uqhuqhuqhene buhawudu kana mahlathi. Yasazi ngosothanda uzalana. I have to just otherwise yeah.
And also, you are here today because you've built a name for yourself. You've built a quite following for yourself. Tell us about that, and also tapping into this media space, because you are a media personality. Uyi brand, basically. I should say that. What did it take for you?
Ndiyaqala ke uva umuntu othi ndi media personality. Siyathanda uzibiza sizibranda ngolo hlobo mos, but I studied media, masiqale apho. So I studied media communication and culture. And I graduated 2016. So ngela xesha ke besisiya ki auditions mo so ufumaniseka akho nto yenzekayo. Then around about the time we pick up YouTube. Started a YouTube channel. Ndabe ngiqomba mna I'm the type ke I don't wait for opportunities to come to me. I use whatever I have to make sure that I put myself out there. Ndaqala uYouTube ndithetha ke yazi ba it was story times, we're cooking, we're doing everything pa. And then slowly I pick her up nako Facebook, nako Instagram, and ke Instagram was hey Instagram yathanda ungasithandi. And then the following actually picked up this year. This year uqalile unyaka, and yayazi ke mos ngo-December we eat everything, so I gained weight, ne? But because ndiqomba ndingomuntu ithanda ncam gym, I then decided, okay, kuye kuthiwe most of this gym, and then there's what you eat. So 80% of what you eat, 20% of what eat gym. So then I decided, I looked at myself and I gone by, okay, carbs, sugar, and starches isn't in this cool. How about I cut those things? But because you're going to social media, I decided to share Yabon, ngela xesha everybody wants to lose weight. And then it started picking up. And then since if I go to cookies to go. Yeah, but so I started sharing, and what I noticed, I started sharing recipes that are easy to make. Yeah, but they're affordable. It's things that are around the house. Iveji amiyabiliswa. Yeah, when I saw ndamka ekhotseni siyakhotsa mostina. So stopped frying food, and then it picked up ngolo hlobo. Of second, also my content, I find that it's very relatable because I don't try to portray umdendi ngenguye. So bandit umqa, I will post umqa wam. I don't try to. I do say, because you see the steps of me making it. So I create videos and it's about, okay, but if so that's why people actually, I think, gravitated towards my content. I want
to ask you something, because I also see that we are baker when the cake is abandoned.
Yes.
To state on that, because I always see good TikTok, but a quick cake trend. The power of TikTok and also your baking, how does it go for you?
All right. So the baking thing, like it chose me. It's one of those situations because what happened was before COVID, and I paid a contract, so I paid a savings. So and then everybody was on social media. So this one time I see a recipe because I had the basics of muffins. But now we go approach Mother's Day. I didn't have a gift, and it didn't broken. I didn't have a gift for my mom. Around about that time, YouTube has been chilo. So then the film it, and then I post it. Now a friend sees that cake, ipume. This is now the power of social media. Now what she did, she posted on WhatsApp, to say, Nancy plug, ufaka link your video yam. A friend of hers sees that, orders a cake.
Wow.
Not knowing that I'm not selling, but because I'm the type of person who likes challenges, and I was like, okay, the chocolate part of it is what I made. Choc caramel. I'm like, I can buy that. That was the 20th of May 2020, and I've been baking ever since. So I like to equip myself with knowledge. So every single day, as you mentioned with TikTok, I'm there because now what's trending is a burning cake. I've done that for myself. So I am self-taught. So like excuse your body, I call my leg higher condon, I excuse. You have social media, we have a bandabafana nati, abanga keep you. Like if I know I have information, I will tell you this is how you do it. Yeah, one. So social media has helped me a lot.
And also speaking about social media and you being a public speaker, right? How has that helped you, or also how have you incorporated the two departments together into making Usinolwazi April?
All right, so this is now TikTok. So around about the time, I think 2022, that decided I need to actually use these different platforms for different things. In one platform. That got the motivation on TikTok. So it was short snippets. What I think, I wake up and I say, I'm motivated. I'm self-motivated. Yeah. But even we and us, you will see as in new videos, but I'll say, if this happens to you, I'm going through the same thing. Yeah. I then started using that platform. It picked up. Now I'm getting booked. Because in no man, this comes from somewhere. We want to hear your story. So then I would put myself out there and say, guys, if you have a party, if you have a law function, I'm here. So also putting yourself out there, abantu are going to see you. Because we tend to think, unale following, abantu must just come to you. No. Even if nandi boni poster. Because this past weekend, we called GQ ambassadors. I saw the poster, and I'm approached and I was like, do you have a red carpet host? What do you know? That in fact. You need to approach people. You need to know how to position yourself and not expect things to be handed to you. Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, Usinolwazi. Unfortunately, for right now,
Sure.
On the show, but Okwangoku, let us go and pay our bills, and then when we're coming back, we're often going to be hanging out with Usinolwazi April, and also and see maybe she can link us out, because she is a media personality at the end of the day. So right now, let's go.
Perfect. Welcome back to channel 260, channel of choice. If you just joined us, this is the perfect time, man. Since Sis April, and you can also hit us up on our social media platform. The number is 08369050.
That is
Sorry about that, man.
0836900530.
That's why I always have Zinhle on my side, because you know, can't but welcome back to it, man. Sis Wamujan.
I'm still good.
Nane?
Very nice to be here.
And now, Vashu.
Yes, please.
Sisi, let's talk ngawe. And I'm very excited. We were talking about behind the scene about it. And then Kandi, who will trend are you? And say as about trend and Skebenga. And also there was a question you will ask Kupana. Let's talk about that, man. How did that thing come about when the interview?
All right. So the interview, I got hit up by Uskelem. So Uskelem is the guy who has been pushing the content Gaskebenga. So he is naye social media influencer. We are content creator because he shoots music videos as well.
Sure.
So Andy hit it up, get Paul from Nandi Bone video le ye guava. That was my first introduction to Uskebenga.
Sure,
and then I started most in the comments. So I read the comments and everyone is praising Uskelem. Bayo intle and I'm thinking, kubalo mfana?
Sure.
Yeah, then ndingene mna kuye ndisithi jonga, I see you doing as if kubona zi videos abantu abaphume eTrongwe. But then he was like, no sister, it's dangerous la way and then sayeka. And then he hits me up, he's like, Sakupi EP.
Sure.
Ne? We need someone or some interviewer. I think Mnandi's out in Goku, now that it's happened, I was lucky to not know him.
Sure.
Yeah, because now kupuma as new videos angela xesha ebe phakathi, and I think that would have scared me. But what I did, I was like, let me put on a hat you buy the media, the journalist, you understand?
Sure,
because also, I also had a challenge of question but then I'm like, I don't want to implicate myself with the besides being limited, and the funny is hesitations in protect should I say wrong. So I felt my third degree but also because if we are noticed, because now understand? So, and there's a part, but I call live show because mentioning I was like, I know these people. And also abantu don't know about as actor guys.
Sure.
Like this is life. Whatever happens here, happens here. Yeah, but so I was like, I will see, knows me. How could she let this happen? Can't him now. I was just
doing your job, get you.
And for me, I was like, yeah, it was an experience. Only after abantu but you brave. And for me, to be quite honest, he's sweet. Like up until you know he's yeah, man. So him as a person, I was like, let me separate. Because Nam but also victim and land. But for me, it was an experience. I won't lie to you.
And also, you being a media personality, let's talk about the measures when it comes to safety. How intense is it? And also, how do you get to protect yourself as someone who is looking for a story? Because we have to find the main reason as to why Indwetili Senzek. So how do you go about protecting yourself?
It's difficult when you're doing it like on your own capacity. On social media, and when a story breaks, you want to. It's different publication because when you go there, wamba with a photographer or whomever, nihamba ngetransport ethile, but I think like when it comes to stories, I look at myself also, like brand alignment is very important for me. How could you align yourself with such? And I'm thinking, no, I'm being a journalist. And I'm like, no, somebody has to do that story. And so you have to actually check, is this story going to serve you? Because most of the time we are serving the community. You are the voice for the voiceless, Tina. Ne? But cameras. So it's tricky, but you have to navigate it. And also, we're too open to the guest because you don't know what they're thinking. So now we have boundaries. Okay, I'm here, we're doing this job. If we are born because smart most abantu beyond lendo sikuyo, and you have to put your foot down and say no, silapa. And also you're working with other people. Tell them I'm not willing to do A, B, and C. And then because our boundaries, it's easy.
My question for you, no? You just mentioned something that you become a voice for the community, no?
Yeah.
You becoming a voice for the community and knowing the pressure they put as being an influencer. We're those people, let's talk about the pressure they give you as a community, like a band in general.
Let me tell you. Kukwelende followers, ne? I had to write a post, I think last week, because I started seeing abantu don't understand it. They see if following yakunyuka, they think following equals money. Oh. Yeah, understand? Because and now I'm getting lamdo who celebrates it. Who's at 40K? I'm excited. Thank you for 40K.
Achievements
Put you 41. Yeah, so I'm that person. Up until I saw, hey, inbox yam, guys.
It's moving.
And because and I'm so grateful. Okay, I don't know, but my spirit of discernment is very strong. Ne? So kukabandu avele umdu ati sino dinale ngaki nje knowing ba omnye ke ngoku une aim yoba uzampostela and they're going to get the help, but for me I can tell xa unshashai.
Sure.
Like I kuba feeling ethi kumba no lo mntu really needs help, and if I can help and post yonke into ke mna ne, because you find abanye abantu you post for likes. I don't do that. If you need help okanye uthi sino ayingenanga imali kaNSFAS, I need imali yokhwela, and if I have it ndizaxela uba ndinayo, and I have friends mos ndingene kumntu ondithi une connection mhlambe lithile endaweni ethile, can you please help this person? So abantu abaninzi don't know ba it's just numbers. And also in the manding, even on Instagram, it will say paid partnership. You understand? I don't get paid. For the food that I cook, I cook it. I had to now set the record straight because people started demanding, can you please cook into a tile? And I was like, no, I can't. I cook what I cook. Yeah, I understand that. But no, like chicken, cows, mutton. And I'm like, no, there's chicken livers, because that's what I afford. Yeah, but up until I said that, wakona omnye or suggest, how about we give you 10 rand? That guy show me. Don't ask for 10 rand.
At least it's coming with the idea.
Yeah, it's like 49K people. Imagine. 10 rand. And now I'm like,
Sure, I get you.
How about? Yeah. But abantu, like, we need to constantly tell people, guys, as fumani mali but we're not getting paid. Yeah,
and also, Sino, as you're mentioning that people are starting to demand, there is also an element of cyberbullying online. Has that affected you in any sort of way?
Well, I know how to distance myself. There's a case bisando kwenzeka ngoku. So ngexesha bendiyekile starch, ne, I was eating veg and inyama. So I can tell abantu abatsha content yam. So ndifake ke mos rice. Yazi mos sifuna izinto zibe aesthetically pleasing, ne? I-gravy bikhona. Andifakanga i-gravy pha, and it trended la picture. Everyone was like, gravy. And now there's a famous content creator. I don't mention I'm not going to give credit. Ne? A friend of mine called me, what is Sino? Lomfana ngexesha lomfana uluvuyo baby ngathi ya trend bethu makhulu ubone mos la video. So now he's making fun of that plate ba nansi le plate ibifuna ngoluvuyo. Now yaphinda yaqala phansi. So for me I know how to distance myself from such things. Like if I don't respond, akho ndizakwenzeka. But bandi respond, abanye ndiyakwazi respond no amboyibeka kule yakhe plate. Ngola hlobo ndiyatsho kuwe no, apha guys, I'm not here for you to critique my food. I'm here to share what I eat. In the lula, if you don't eat when you chicken, faki pork, intoni enzima. If you don't eat pork, now ufuneka ndimane ndizicacisa okokoko. I know how to ngendlela nje nice
enesikolo
ndibeke nje politely,
and it's always the case, yes. And
because abantu bazakhwela apha if you don't
I get you. Yes, to be honest with you now, but unfortunately we can't do that. On social media, people who are watching at home the content and be part of it.
All right, social media, Sinolwazi April, across the board, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So
you just simple like that.
Ako underscore.
Underscore. But anyway, guys, if you saw what you're watching and you just joined us, the question for the day is called for a fourth term and wena uchonge P and ready for yona, or what are you waiting for? But a great show without us paying our bills, but we're gonna go and pay our bills. We're gonna come back with more guests, and it's something interesting for you guys. Stay tuned. We're coming back after this. Welcome back to channel T60, channel of choice, man. If you just join us, uvela pibupi, okay, uyayazi kuthiwa asikwazi ukuyeka show sikakhange sizingcolise. Sinhle?
Yeah. So what we're doing right now, you guys know most about Nandi creative there at heart. So right now we have a guy called Uluthando Manga, and he is a ceramic artist. And how do you do these beautiful dishes? Are they called dishes?
Yes.
Dishes.
Yeah.
Firstly, let me welcome you on the Hangout. For Rimna, before we can even go into this, us getting our hands dirty, I want us to talk about you being an artist and also doing ceramics. And how do you tap into that space?
Oh, okay. I fell in love with ceramics way back. I think the inspiration from Makolwam. He used to collect ceramics pieces, your porcelain dolls, you divider, and there's a cup, ngaselelwa bantu, so long decorative payana. So naqala phana uthando lam, then I did the research about like how to do it. Yeah. Then I do a research kwenziwa clay, ezinye zenziwa nge-plaster of mold, ezinye plaster of Paris. Then ngoku ndacela umama, no, I want to do this.
Go into this.
Yeah, I want to do this fully. Then I go to PE College 205, then I started there.
Yeah. That's where your journey started.
That is where my journey started. Until now.
You starting this, like you went to school for your school, and then after school, you were business.
Yes.
When you started your own business, how was the business going?
Yo, iqale kahle ne, as most uyayazi xa uqala business, you have excitement, you have yonke lando, and you thought in your head, but no, zikhona customer, omakazi bazazithenga, yabo ne-friends zami zathenga, yonke le nto izoflowa, yabo. But yahamba lo hlobo, but yahla kancinci. Then ngoku ndayeka kancinci ndabuyela ngoku to ukhangela umsebenzi. But since ndithanda, then I thought, no man, let me go back to full time. But now I'm investing everything kuyo.
Shout out.
Yeah, but slowly iyeza kancane.
Kancane.
Yeah.
Mnaputi, I am someone who loves working with my hands. I said Cindy, but what do we have here, and also what are we doing today?
Today is bowl easy. This is the finished one. So sizoqala enye from scratch.
Color with this. What is this called?
This is a clay. This is a white clay. Stoneware. Ludongo ke ngesixhosa.
So basically umbuzo wami ndibukele endlini and ndicinga ba man ndiyayithanda le nto yakho ngiyifumana njani nawo?
No, lena unganifumana ku Facebook. And you can DM to Facebook, you can get my contact there. Yeah.
Okay, to state, we can mention something as you can mention something what's about now, what's about Omaka's and show me like support. And then, how was the support from the family and the friends? Because you end up with fun and work.
No, yazi qala mosi ifamily always like sticks to school, yabo by police boniboni yonke lando, yabo. But it was slow, but now since bebona about like the serious school loan, now they investing like even now kuza kwama umakazi yanfonela about like ungatatazela right.
Right now.
So like support is like
Yes. So Lela sayifaka mosap?
Yes, sayifaka apha.
I haven't played with Dongo in a while.
Right. And also when it comes to creating designs, do you have any sort of inspiration okanye into jonga kuyo?
Inspiration yomna kakhulu like culture yam as umXhosa ndisuka phi as umfana okhulele Alice ezilalini, so like in any pieces yam ndayifaka la elements ba I must know ba ndisuka phi, so ndingayilibali. Yes. So like even mixing colors, like ukubone ezilalini umhlaba ubomvu iyacracker nocracker. Yeah, so
maXhosa we play it kahle kahle.
maXhosa we play.
Let's talk about umuntu ofuna ukwenza lento ne mhlawumbe nisesikolweni because it's more of a youth show than school ne.
Yes.
Ndibukele nindoni into onothi banafuna ukufunda into ethile and then uzoba sharp ehlobo nelhlobo.
There's a course eyenziwayo Russell College.
Sure.
Yes, you can go there and apply internship, the ceramics, I think Yeah, ceramics only. Yeah, you can go there.
So basically, esikolweni uba ndifunda ntoni, and then after
Nobufunda ntoni,
after
yeah,
esikolweni
yeah.
nentsango yeRussell.
Yes.
And also,
If you have your grade 12, then
and
go.
also, ndingakuqhanda uqhawule, would you say that ikhona imarket ye-ceramics apha eBhayi?
Hey, it's slow, Saswam, but ikhona uba khona oku, but it's slow, it takes time, yabo. It takes time. But the more ulando usenza and uba consistent kwinto oyenzayo, it will happen eventually, yabo. And you need musuyazi ba into enitwa ngabantu, that you don't do into ezohlala endlini, yabo.
Sure.
And also, I feel like umsebenzi wakho uyamdinga
Faka
umntu
ipilo.
very patient, ne?
Yes,
So
yes,
for wena ungathi
Shy
how
plate moso.
important is it into yoba ube ngumuntu who is patient and also who is grounded?
Ewe kakhulu iyayifuna loo nto leyo, ibe nediscipline, ube ungumuntu orelaxileyo, then yonke into izazenzekela. Yeah.
Can't believe ndinguzinhle namhlanje.
I know. I was like, you know what, let me let you be.
Zinhle, do we have comments? Comment
Comments, we do have them on our
And then?
WhatsApp line and also
Fake
Facebook. But
fresh,
also,
so
if
it's
you want to
around.
chip in your own bit of comments,
don't
remember you
have to
can use
I know, Lagat.
06900530. So the actual comment that we have right now, it is coming from, let's see. This is live TV, Betunana, we're doing live TV. So trials are going to be trying me for sure. Someone is there.
So
Base or guy, if you prepare yourself in time, trust me, trials are going to go smoothly. And also someone said, I got my hair done this weekend, so I am ready as I will be. They ask but yeah. And also saying that it's always cool hanging out with you guys. We love you like that, Kesada. And one is saying that having a good Monday. What's up, fam? We're out here. We're definitely out here on channel T60, your channel of choice. And lastly, our last comment is saying that it says, I'm looking forward to the third term.
So
the last two terms went very well for me, and
Just
I'm
be
excited
smooth,
for what's coming.
yeah.
I hope Basile on the last two terms and
top
also
be
onto
smooth,
this that we're going to
level.
pass as well. But Lwando,
Yebo.
siyalunga dish ya.
Isn't when?
Lwando, yeah, approve.
I want to ask you guys something. There's
Yes.
something that great that happened in sport this weekend. Do you watch sport?
Hey, Lwando.
Yes, sport.
Hey, there's up.
Yes, guys, I feel like you guys don't watch sport. Let's talk about soccer first. Euro, ne? In Portugal, we got knocked out. Apparently, it was Cristiano Ronaldo's last dance. Shout out to him, man, after 20 years. And then also Toni Kroos was it Germany? Apparently, Miss Germany, they are the one who are hosting a Euros, ne? So I'm putting neck going. And then also and then also go Formula One, Lewis Hamilton, winning again British for the 9th time. Guys, shout out to Mercedes Benz. And apparently, in the guy, we are and he was literally a race because we are Red Bull. Not Red Bull, sorry, Ferrari. And as your team, not in Titanian language, guys. I thought I was going to talk to people about sports. I was literally excited about it. And yeah, there's also that, man. There's great news. On your weekend, in the Wikomba, it will be to him.
Well,
I'm Poco now. We nearly a Yazley. We are Yazley.
I'm not a sports guy or anything like that, but Rando, you were mentioning about what was happening on my weekend and also the things that I grasped on my weekend. Well, I got to see my lovely sister. She was here in PE, and I was so excited to see family after such a long time. And also, I hope. And I hope that you guys are continuing to engage with us on all our social media platforms. And this part of the show is coming to an end. But Ulwando is excited and he's enjoying this more than me, weirdly for today. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to have to love and leave you and make sure that you guys are staying warm at home. And also, Ulwando, do you have any last words for our
before
viewers at
on social media,
Lutano Manga on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram.
Oh no, it's not TikTok challenges.
Guys,
this is what I did.
It takes 3 days.
3 days, ne?
Yeah.
After 3 days, yeah, but this is mine, man. But also on social media, you can get me as Luandon Jokes Njokwen. Is it Luandon Jokes Njokwen? I'm not sure, but Luandon Njokwen and all social media platform. And then you can also hit us up on WhatsApp. WhatsApp word it's 0836900530. So I got that, man. And also thanks for tuning in, man, and choosing us on a Monday. And also we so that you
couch if you have to. Yeah.
There's also that, man. Thanks for choosing us. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And Z, I will see you tomorrow. Guys, it was amazing. We out like that.